Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Maggie, and what you are seeing here is what my closet looked like before I cleaned it up. Well, cleaned it out really. I have cleaned all of this out of the closet, which is now all strewn throughout my bedroom, but that's not the point of this video. I just wanted to share where this closet has come from. I have thrown stuff away, etc. And today we are actually going to be tackling the build, or the start of the build. So this is where the closet was at this point, and I had a couple of little random things that I hadn't taken out because I was just all over the whole situation. So here I am starting with taking all of the random little knickknacks off of the shelves. I ended up finding a random apple box on one of those shelves as well. Who knew that there were so many apple boxes? I still have them. I still have not gotten rid of them. I don't know if we will, to be honest. We have some kind of connection to them and we can't get rid of them. We can, we just choose not to. And so here we are putting away, here I am putting away the shelves, and disregard my bathroom countertop. It is a mess. I've mentioned in my previous videos, my house gets really messy really quick if I don't keep up with it. And if I'm focused on work and building a closet and cleaning out that stuff and traveling, we did travel, it's impossible to keep everything else clean. I wonder if anyone else out there has the same problem with their houses. It is impossible. I feel sometimes like I should be ahead and further ahead, but it is just hard. But anyways, this is not a video about lamenting about my house being in disarray. This is about the closet build. So as you can see, I'm taking off all the brackets, all the shelves, all the wood, all the pieces, all the things to then be able to build a closet. So that's really pretty much it. There's not much to say here about that beyond what I'm doing. All right, so this is the closet and all this stuff. Here, I'm going to take this out and remove the rest of the wood. Since I've never removed wood off of the walls, I had my father-in-law give me a bit of a lesson of how to remove wood and trim. He gave me some equipment, or those metal thingies, and showed me how to do it without damaging the wall. So took his lesson and did my own thing. I was able to remove all of the pieces. They were not as hard as I thought they were going to be to remove. Some of them broke, some of them didn't, like that broke right there. Some of them came out in a piece, in a piece that we can reuse, ideally. And yeah, it was pretty easy, pretty straightforward. I just had to wiggle the little metal arm crowbar looking thing out. And here I was trying to remove the giant nails out of those pieces of wood, because we are planning on reusing those when the closet build is done, to fill in gaps and whatnot and just make it look a little bit cleaner. So yeah, not bad, not hard, not as hard as I thought it was going to be. And I'm sorry about some of these angles. There was not really a lot of space to put the camera in the closet. It's tiny. So yeah, sorry about the weird angles on some of these shots. That's all I could do. Once the cleanup was done, went through to Lowe's and bought all of the wood. Initially, I was thinking of buying smaller wood, so instead of a 2x4, using a 1x2. I couldn't really find any good ones, and the 2x4s were pretty cheap, so ended up going with the 2x4s and got all the plywood that we needed. That was just a small shot of me getting plywood. We got in total 7 sheets. Then came home, and my father-in-law, he's done construction in his youth, and so he helped me with patching the holes. He's really trying to help me with this project. I was telling him as we were working on this, like, you don't have to help me. I really want to do this on my own. And he's like, no, I'm going to help. So here he is, hitting the holes and scraping the walls just to make sure nothing is loose, nothing is out there. And open and like bumpy. And then he mixed the mortar or the plaster and is putting it in the sections, like just to make it easier for the when we actually get to the point of painting, so that it makes it easier for it to be smooth and flush, so it doesn't look all bumpy and weird. Where those shelf brackets were, and here where the trim was, even though on the bottom I was telling him that the 2x4s are going to kind of cover that, we don't really need it, but he felt like he wanted to fill that in anyway, so he had extra. And then on to cleaning up and sweeping up off all of the little dust particles and pieces of sheetrock, and on to the next thing, which was putting together the bottom of the bookcase, the closet, the bottom support system, I suppose. And I was really excited. I got this pocket jig off of Amazon, and I was super excited about getting it and putting it in there. And my father-in-law, when he came in, he was like, you just put the screws like sideways or like from the top. It's not like you're going to see them. Like, who cares about the pocket screws? Just put a few screws on each side, from each side, and keep it that way. So that's what I did, trying to make sure that I measured and made sure that the depth was still what I wanted it to be, which was 15.5 inches. And here we go, just putting the screws in, just trying to keep it flush, keep it together, making it sturdy, as we don't want this thing to fall down on us or be really unsturdy. And the floor, as you can see here on the bottom, the floor is like, it's not really touching the floor. I don't know if it's the wood or if it's the floor or whatever. And I didn't get a clip of this yesterday, but my husband did fix that by screwing this base into the wall. Apparently there's like a stud on the bottom of the floor, like towards the bottom of the wall, where the wall and the floor meet. And so he was able to screw it in there, and it was much sturdier. So still measuring and whatnot. Here, my father-in-law, I had him help me because this piece of wood kept going down, and the other piece of wood by the wall kept coming up, so it was really not, I couldn't figure out how to get it straight, so he helped me here with holding it with a hammer and trying to get it up. I don't know that he was able to do much better than I was, but at least that was it. This is the base of the closet. Then I looked for the studs and marked them with a blue piece of tape in order to attach the base. I know it probably sounds really stupid, but I'm trying to get this bit out. I have another bit that I'm trying to put in, this one, for the big screws to get into the studs. I just can't figure out how to get this thing out. Like, I can take this out, but I can't figure out this piece. So I'm waiting for my father-in-law to come and help me, because I obviously don't know what I'm doing. Then, as I mentioned, I put the screws into the studs. And some of those, the stud finder was saying they were studs, but they were not indeed there, so I had to go through and look for them again. Then my father-in-law cut this piece of wood for me. He cut all of the pieces of wood for me. I really appreciate that. But we put that, or my husband and my father-in-law put that in there in the closet, made sure to put it down flush with the base, and it fit pretty well. And then what my husband did is he got a nail gun, and we nailed that piece to the bottom of the base, just to make sure that it is nice and secure on there. Obviously we'll still screw in the wall panels onto this and into the base and whatnot, so I feel like this is going to be secure. Maybe I'll do a couple of screws, I don't know, but it should be good. And this is now the current state of the closet. This is how far we were able to get this week. I know it's not a lot. I know it's not a huge transformation, but this takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. So I appreciate you watching, and I hope you come back for the next one. Take care.